Everybody, welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada. And you can find me online at stampingwithmelva.com. And today I thought I'd jump on and make a card using the waves of the ocean. I love this, and it's been a while. I think, well, it hasn't been a while, but I don't seem to have played with it in my recent lives. What I thought I would show is how you can use the dies with the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. That machine is on for 20% off through the month of March. And so the dies I'm using, the tailor-made tag dies, so I'm not actually using the dies from the Waves of the Ocean, but I'm using the designer series paper and the stamps to make a really pretty card. I love the tailor-made tags, and they are the perfect size for the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I've been really busy this morning. I have to admit, at about 10 minutes ago, I realized what time it was. I've been getting ready for my BOGO sale, which is next weekend on the 26th of March. So if you live in Canada and you're interested, you will find the link to the group that my BOGO sale will be in my group. I'll put it underneath this video as well. So if you haven't joined the group yet, and you live in Canada, make sure you join it, because Diane and I will be live from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. next Saturday with our BOGO sale. Some great deals in it. So I'm just going to make sure that I'm live, looking down at my Facebook group. Hopefully I am. Oops, there's my group. That's fine, to make sure that I can see that I'm live. I am. Okay, perfect. All right. So let me switch over to my desktop and we'll make a card. All right, so this is the Waves of the Ocean stamp set that I'm going to use. It's just so amazing. This stamp set will carry over into the annual catalog that I get to see, our demonstrators get to see this coming week on the 23rd. So if you're a demonstrator, you're going to get a peek. You're going to get to see the upcoming annual catalog, and then it comes out in May. The other thing that comes out this week is the retired list. So we'll know what products are carrying over and what aren't. This absolutely will be carrying over, this and the stamp sets, but the designer series paper foil and the amazing rhinestones are not carrying over. So if you haven't got this suite on these products yet, just put them on your wish list, because they are amazing. Okay, so let's bring in some of the things I'm going to use. I have got a piece of Pacific Point, which has become one of my new favorite colors. And I said this before, it hasn't always been one of my favorite colors. I haven't used it a lot, but I have been using it a lot with this designer series paper. So this is 4 1/4 by 11, and I'm scoring it at 5 1/2. Oops. It's falling, and we're just going to fold it. I always fold into the mountain. So this is the raised line. So we'll just fold it into that raised line. Just gives you a better crease. Use your bone folder to give it a good crease. Okay, so that's my card base. Now I've got a piece of basic white cardstock that is 4 inches by 5 1/4. And I'm going to emboss it using, this is the stripes, and I always call it splotches, and I don't think that's what it's actually called. But it's kind of like watermarks, which is what I'm going to use. I thought it would be perfect. So I am going to use that. This fits, these embossing folders fit perfectly into the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So that's something to consider. And then I've got a piece of this amazing designer series paper. Oh my gosh, it is just so stunning. So one side in this piece is Coastal Cabana, Pacific Point white, Granny Apple green, and then the other side is, I think it's mint macaron. So I'm going to use this side, and I've got a piece of the gorgeous foil that I am going to cut both of these pieces. I'm going to cut out using, these are the tailor-made tag dies. They are great. You can cut tags out of them. There are 4 different sizes, and then these what I call reinforcements. Those you can cut extra pieces to go over the whole. So let me bring in my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine to show you how amazing this is. So this is the small size. This is the one that's on 20% off through the end of March. Comes with everything you need with the piece, the plates. There's one more plate that I will bring in. So these are the plates you need for cutting. So let's do some cutting. Now, this is only about 3 inches or so wide, so you do have to have your paper to fit that. So let's just trim this down. So these dies are perfect, these tailor-made tag dies. So we'll just run this through. This is great. It folds up just like the large size. So these sides, it's going to snap together. I don't want to do that on camera. It's so loud, but it folds together. So it's a perfect, it stores so nicely, fits on your desk. So if you don't have a lot of room, this is perfect. So this is one of the tailor-made tag dies. So this is the largest size, and it's great because it's all stitched. So we've cut that one out, and now I'm going to cut one out of the designer series paper, and I'm going to go this end. So I'm just going to trim this as well. I want to use this end because it's got more of the Pacific Point color in it. So Sarah Douglas, who's the CEO of Stampin' Up, showed, I think it was on Instagram this week, I saw a reel maybe. Anyway, it was a video of her. So a lot of Stampin' Up designer series paper starts out as actually art pieces like paintings. And the concept artists at Stampin' Up are amazing, very talented people. And so Sarah showed all of the pieces that led to the design of this designer series paper. Just stunning. And it was all done using, I think, the acrylic flow pores that you see. They're very popular. And I think that that's how these were created on the original pieces. They're just so stunning. All right, so you can see that this is a great size for your desk. As I says, it comes with this extra piece, which is for the embossing folders. So I'm going to take, and I'm going to use this one that I call Splotches. I can't remember if that's the real name. Now, it's not, I'm not going to be able to actually use this because my piece of paper is too big. So I'm going to have to use my big one. But these embossing folders, if you have a smaller piece of paper, fit perfectly into the mini machine. So let's bring in, when I bring in my regular size machine, you will see how much bigger it is. So let's just take these platforms off. And now I just need this one. And I'm going to just take and put my piece of cardstock in the middle here. Oops. So I'm just going to line it up, and it's going to go in the middle. There will be some part of it that will not be embossed, and that's okay. Just kind of line it up so it's equal distance. You can get it. There we go. Roughly equal distance. There we go. Okay, so we'll run this through. So this is one of the thicker embossing folders, so you only need the one platform. There are a few of the smaller embossing or the thinner embossing folders, and then you do need the extra plates. Okay, so now I've got this embossed. So it looks like kind of water. I don't know if you can see that. Kind of looks like water texture. I'm not sure that you can actually see that on camera. All right, and I've got my two of these pieces. I'm going to put like this. I've got my inside, which is 4 inches by 5 1/4. And then I've got a scrap of, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I am going to cut another piece of another one of these tags, and that's what I'm going to fit. I'm going to cut another tag quickly, And that's what I'm going to stamp on. So it will be actually 3 tags. To bring my machine back in. I think I've got room on this piece, my scrap piece. All right, let's run this through. Okay. There we go. Scrap's done. Put this out of the way. All right. Okay, so let's move this. I'm going to stamp. And what I'm going to stamp on here is this adorable pelican. You see this pelican on the boards, the logs, I guess. And the other thing that I want to, I'm going to make this a birthday card. I think the happy birthday will fit. Where is it? There it is. Will it fit across here? Not quite. So we'll have to cut that out of a piece and then adhere it on. So let's do this one first. I'm going to stamp him in Pacific Point, just because that's kind of the theme of my card. You will see how adorable this pelican is. Isn't that nice? Oh my gosh, I love the pelican. He's so cute. All right, so there's the pelican. We'll do the sentiment in a minute. Let's start putting these together. Now, this is the sheer pool party ribbon. So I'm just going to take and push this through. I've got all 3 pieces. This coordinates, so even though this is pool party, it goes so nicely with the Coastal Cabana. So I'm just going to cut that like that, and then I'm going to cut another, oopsie, another piece. Let's put these scissors to get some. Those are my ribbon scissors too. All right, I'm going to take a piece like this, and I will put this on in a minute. I find that easier to put on, to tie my tag ribbon together once I have this on here. So I'm just going to spread these out like this so that the 2 pieces behind it are kind of on either side. And you can use a glue dot to hold those in place. All right, so let's just put a glue dot behind here to hold that on. That way they just won't move and slip around. There we go. And then another one here like that. And we will actually use dimensionals on the back. If I can find my dimensionals. There's some black ones, they'll work. All right, so we'll put this on with dimensionals. Okay, so I'm just going to put this on in the middle like that. And now I've got mine, I can tie this. I just, as I said, I find it a little easier to tie my tag on using this extra piece. So I'm just kind of tying just a single knot around this. I just find it easier once this is in place and on my card and being held down instead of it's kind of slipping around. And we will trim those. So I'm not going to use the I'm going to use the multi-purpose liquid glue on here. I'm going to adhere it flat and not add any more thickness to my card. Like that. Okay, so that's on like that. Now we can just take and trim these pieces. I'm okay with this sticking up a little bit. There we go. Trim those. Now I need a piece of cardstock so that I can stamp a sentiment. So let's stamp the happy birthday sentiment in Coastal Cabana. And if you were a happy birthday sentiment, there we are. Oh, I lost it there. Okay. All right. So we're just going to stamp this on the bottom here in Coastal Cabana. If you follow me at all, you know that I love to fussy cut my sentiments. I'm not sure where that's come from, but that seems to be what I do. You can use a die. You can use a punch if you want. Sometimes I will fussy cut around it, so it's kind of all curved, and sometimes I just cut it out like I did there. And I'm just going to pop this up using some mini dimensionals. Like that. Oops. I'll put a couple more in the middle so that I don't like it when my sentiment, the middle of my sentiment kind of sags. So we'll just put 4 dimensionals on here to hold it in place. Oops, don't put it upside down. And that can go. We'll make it so that it's straight. There we go, like that. Okay, so I've got an extra piece of my basic white cardstock. So let's stamp another pelican on the inside. We won't put a sentiment on the inside. I will just write a note. So we'll just put a pelican down here in the corner. And then we will adhere this on. This goes on the inside of the card. Like that. You can use your favorite adhesive. If it's Stampin' Seal or Tear and Tape, whatever works for you. Now, the last thing I want to do is adhere some of these amazing rhinestones. So these come, there's 168 in a package, and there are 6 different colors. You get 4 each of the large and medium, and then I think there's 20 of the small. So we're just going to use kind of a combination of some of these colors. And let's see, what other color will I use? I'll use this one. I'll use the green. There. These rhinestones are so amazing. I will be very sad when they go away. So there is my card. Again, these are the tailor-made tags, fit perfectly in the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And also this was the stripes, and I know I'm going to get it wrong. I call it splotches. I don't think that's what it actually is called. But this is a combination. This is the smaller size embossing folders that are in the mini catalog. So I just used that down the middle of my piece of basic white. So there you go. Pretty card. Hopefully whoever gets it for their birthday will like it as well. So thanks very much for joining me today. Don't forget, if you are in Canada and you're interested in my BOGO sale, I will put the link to the group underneath my BOGO, underneath this video, so you can join. We will be live from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Pacific on March 26th. And for anybody who puts an order in with me, a $60 order, I think it is, before Wednesday of this coming week, which is the 24th, you will be entered into an early entry draw. That means you can come and start shopping on Friday night instead of having to wait till 7 o'clock on Saturday. If you've got some things that are definitely on your wish list and you know that I have in my album, you will be able to get to shop early. All right. Thanks so much for joining me. I will be live again on at 12 noon Pacific tomorrow. So hopefully you will join me and we'll make another card together. Thanks, everybody. Happy stamping.